Welcome everybody into the Living Deadwax podcast, and we are doing vinyl haul, music hauls. I guess I don't really know what to title this. I guess we'll just call it
Either way.
vinyl. Because sometimes some things aren't vinyl, so I guess we'll just call it music haul or vinyl hauls.
Record store hauls, online
that's
hauls, web store hauls. Just list off all the avenues.
Yeah. Amazon hauls.
Don't do that because I don't think that's a good thing. Don't do Amazon hauls. I think that would bring a weird, like, you're just buying stuff on Amazon, then we'll be on Vinyl Jerk or something.
Yeah, very true. Don't want to end up there. So anyways, guys, we're going to split this up and do kind of 2 episodes a week. One part is going to be all the vinyl haul, which we normally combined with the main episode, the main topic. We're going to split that up. Maybe we will shorten the episodes, and it gives double the dose of Living Deadwax. So let's kick this off. I know Tyler's got a couple things he wants to show. I got a few things here to talk about. It was Black Friday last week, so
Black Friday record store day as well.
Yeah.
Which was the big deal. So Friday, Ty and I went out to the local record shop that we have here, and so we showed up 7:30. Wasn't too bad. I don't think the list was super healthy this year. There were a few things maybe, but I don't think either one of us really saw anything standing out that was like super crazy that you had to get. Like in terms of like the grand, like the general public, like there's been many years where things kind of stand out and they're like, oh, this is going to bring people in or whatever the hell. Right. But this year wasn't really that way.
April was the Taylor Swift.
Yes, exactly. So like certain things brought out the masses and the hordes. This year there was stuff that we wanted that we got. We both got everything we wanted. I believe you got everything you wanted initially on the first run. We had to later go out. So anyway, so we first went out, and apparently our shop got in. I was just on for one actual item. That's all I wanted, and I was cool with that, really. And it was going to be a cheap year for me, which I really like. I don't like spending a shitload of money on stuff that I feel as though I need to have. So just whatever. So anyway, so we went first. We struck out first, and then I had to work for a couple hours. And then we went back out like 4 hours later and found it at the In Groove here in Phoenix. And that is The Doors, Paris Blues EP 12-inch. And this is going to be, I'm a huge Doors fan. Love The Doors. Pops love The Doors. I love The Doors. Ty hates The Doors. And, 100 million people can't be wrong. Bon Jovi. So I love The Doors, so I needed to get this. I get every Doors releases. I missed a couple, which unfortunately I didn't tell you this. I don't know if you saw it, but the Live at the Isle of Wight festival was on the wall. That was one of the ones I missed from like 5 years ago, maybe. They wanted 90 for it. Okay. Yeah. They wanted 90 for it. And I
didn't know that was a record store day.
Yeah, it was that one. I missed that one, and I missed the other live record. Fuck, I forget now, but I missed both of those. So those are the ones that are monies now. I think that In Groove has them somewhat often, and I just don't want to spend the $85 at this point. But I don't want to miss any more Doors releases. So anyway, so Paris Blues. This is going to be supposedly word on the street until it's not the last Doors song in the history of the band. So there's no more vaulted stuff, supposedly. Everything's going to be out there at this point. So don't expect any more, unreleased material coming out from the Doors until they find more stuff. And then they'll put out more stuff. So there's that. But they did, I think this is 12,000 or 10,000. It's on Blue. So the Paris Blues. So obviously, this is a song that is very old. It's either from, and they don't actually know because there's differing opinions from the band members and from Bruce Botnick, their engineer. It was either from Soft Parade sessions or it was from the LA Woman sessions. And I believe Bruce Botnick says it's from Soft Parade, and Robbie Krieger says it's from LA Woman, but both of them don't have solid evidence of it being a thing, of which session it's from. The interesting story, I told Ty about this that night. It's kind of interesting. Not kind of, to me, it's really interesting. So So they found the song was referenced in different books and things, and the archivist knew the song existed. The Doors archivist knew the song existed. So I think it was 97. The Doors CD box set came out with Jim on it, and like he's all looking all, you know. And so the Doors, the CD box that came out, and they were going to include a bunch of stuff on there, and they sent over a bunch of DAT tapes to Ray Manzarek, the organist keyboardist for the Doors. And so electric bass, or the keyboard bass as well, all the good stuff. So they sent the DAT tape over to Ray Manzarek, and he put it in. He listened to it, and he said, and he liked it, and he kind of just put it in there, and they decided not to use it. But in the time that he put it in his tape deck, and then by the time he sent it back, his son had gotten a hold of the DAT tape, and he pressed record. So the DAT tape was on there. Apparently, it's a 1 of 1. They had no other copies of this. So his son had babbling on certain parts of the song. He just kept pressing record and play and what have you. So they sent and then Ray didn't know that. So he ended up he had to send it back to the archive. So he just put it out of the tape player and whatever, popped back and sent it back to the archive. They later listened to the tape, and they found that his son is on the tape because he played around with the tape deck. And someone, I think, was 4 years old at the time, and his son played with the tape deck, and they had to go ahead and recut the song and try to make it sound as presentable as possible. And to my ear, I didn't know that story when the first time I heard it. I listened to it on Spotify, and I've heard it since then. To my dumb ear, I don't hear obvious cuts or editing. Obviously, if you know what you're looking for, you probably can. But it's just a bluesy Doors song. Like, I like it. It's cool. It's nothing that I would like. Obviously, it wouldn't make my top Doors songs by any means. It's just very cool with the story. And it's very cool that it's going to be supposedly going to be the last release with the Doors. And then the side B of it, I believe they have the Albert King live sessions from just different dates. I think from Montreal, possibly. I could read the back of this right now, but I'm guessing. But they did some old blues cuts with Albert King, and that was previously released on one of those live records that we talked about. So that's not unreleased, but it's being repackaged here. But Paris Blues, supposedly the last Doors track. So
is side A just the one song?
So side A is no. It's side A is Paris Blues. I'll never be untrue. It's just other blues songs they had. It's not Doors songs necessarily. There's other old blues songs they did, and so the first 1 through 3 previously unissued. I don't think that means unreleased. They just weren't officially issued. I don't know how you're phrasing that. Gotcha. But yeah. So anyway, supposedly the last Doors release, I had to get it. And so I picked it up, and I was super stoked. It was the last 2 copies it was one of the last 2 copies that the shop had. And at In Groove, Zia got 5 supposedly. And we went there, and
they were gone.
Gone. And one of the guys that we talked to, he didn't even see it.
I don't think they ever had them out.
Yeah. They were checked in because they were in the system. So they were checked in. But one of the managers we talked to, he literally said he never saw it. So I don't know if nobody put them out in time or whatever, and they found them later. No idea. But yeah.
Yeah, but then at least you picked it up. So, alrighty, let's go with one of my Record Store Day Black Friday pickups. Everything I got for Record Store Day wise releases was from Zia.
Love it.
And we've got Unto Others. I've talked about this band before on the podcast. Talked to them in the cover songs episode. Check it out. This is Strength 2 Deep Cuts. So all this is a little bit of demos and unreleased tracks from the last record. I guess they kind of wanted to do a double album, and Roadrunner was like, no, I guess. So
yeah,
they just decided to put these out. I spun this once. I haven't listened to it that much because it's not on streaming yet. It will be in January, I think. But I did spin it once, and I really enjoy the songs, man. These guys can write their ass off. There is a cool Scorpions cover, Passion Rules the Game.
I don't know that song.
I didn't know it either until I listened to it, but now I want to listen to the original because it's a cool song.
Yeah.
And even the demos on here are pretty pretty stout. Like they're just clean them up, and they're basically complete songs to me. This came on really cool, like turquoise blue that matches the cover really well. So cool colorway there.
That's awesome.
Very flat, no warping. Sounds pretty quiet. I was pretty happy with it. So yeah, that's my first one.
So that Scorpions cover is from Savage Amusement from '88.
Oh,
I don't know.
So it's a late. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the big single on there?
Let's see here.
I mean, you could just name off songs. I would know.
Yeah, well, I just
we got Rhythm of Love.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah,
I was just looking at singles.
Don't Stop at the Top. I think that was probably a single too.
Yeah, so a little later, Scorpions. Is there a band cover for this record too? Did you see that on there?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't think so. I've only ever seen that cover.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. I mean, that cover is not bad. It's not too gnarly. I don't see anything on here.
It's like animals.
Yeah. Exactly. Interesting. But yeah. I'm sure that's a vague cover, or not vague, a rare cover to pull out is late Scorpions like that. So that's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I enjoy it. I actually want to listen to the original, so I will be doing that soon.
I wonder, so they didn't want to do the double record. I wonder if that's because Roadrunner thought that a double record's kind of like a daunting thing that maybe like casuals wouldn't want to buy because it sounds like too much music. I don't know. I don't know the motivation.
I don't know. Like that's the vibe I got from their Instagram post when I found out that was even coming out. It was kind of like we wanted to put these on the record, but the label said otherwise. So I don't know that's their first record on Roadrunner.
Okay.
Strength, and that's only their second record. So
yeah,
maybe they're just like, let's hold these back, and then we can do a limited release, and we'll get money out of it anyway. So
that's fair. And then we also did notice. I mean, you weren't going to say anything probably, but we did notice because you bought that for $13 at Azia, and then we saw it. Yeah, well, yeah, I know you weren't going to. And then at the other shop we went to, unnamed here, but the other shop we went to that day,
unnamed, and the one I just mentioned 5 minutes ago.
We could have gone to multiple shops. Who knows? Had over 40. So I think that's going to stick around over there, and then hopefully somebody corrects that because I think that somebody just made a mistake.
I hope they just made a mistake because you're supposed to. From everything I've heard, you're supposed to
MSRP.
They give you an MSRP, and I think you can mark it up like a certain percentage. I don't think you can mark it up 75%.
No, well, it'd be more. It'd be 100 or a few 100% there.
I guess.
So yeah, right. It's way too much. So I think somebody's going to somebody in the shop. They're smart. I think smart people there. Hopefully somebody realizes why did nobody buy that certain extra day release, or we sold one of like 9 that we had, or they probably had a bunch, and I think somebody's gonna go, oh, because somebody looked at the wrong chart column, or whatever the hell, to the column in the chart to see what we had. So whatever, it is what it is. That's awesome though. So that was the first one, and the second one. So admittingly, have not listened to this yet, have not watched this yet. It was just random, and I felt weird, and like, I don't know, like me and Ty talked about this last time. So Foo Fighters, they put out a release last Records Day that is right after Taylor died, and so we're not massive Foo Fighters fans. We like the songs or whatever, right? But like, we kind of felt like maybe not obligated, but like, I don't know. It's the last Taylor release. Maybe you want to purchase it, just pick it up, just whatever, right?
Well, I think that was the Bee Gees covers too. Well, I didn't buy that. Did you buy it?
Yeah. No. So there was that the Bee Gees was last year, not last Record Store Day. Not last year was the Bee Gees cover. Record Store Day in April. That was I think it was a 7-inch, right?
Okay, I don't remember.
Yeah, it was 7-inch, but we didn't purchase that because Taylor wasn't on that. And then knowing this now, Taylor's also not on this. So this is Dream Widow. This is the EP. From what I understand, is the band from the movie. I believe. I really should do more research on this. I haven't.
Yes, Studio 666.
There you
Is
go.
the
So
movie.
that's the Foo Fighters movie, and so the band from the movie is Dream Widow, and so they put out this EP, and it's one of I think 12,000. They printed up a shitload of them, so like it wasn't ever going to be super limited, probably. But
Yeah, but
I
I
had
think
picked it up.
I think that Bee Gees thing wasn't super limited either, but it ended up being expensive
Money.
because people didn't know what it was, and I don't think
Yeah,
people knew what that was.
that's
If you're
fair.
not doing research, and I think that's going to be, I think it's going to be a decent amount of money.
Yeah, I mean, probably Taylor, as far as I read on here, is not on this. It's Rafi, it's Dave Grohl, and it's someone else on this as well. Dave plays guitar, sings, and he does drums. There's another guitarist on this as well. I don't, off the top of my head, can't tell you who it is. But anyway, Ty and I didn't know what the hell this was, and because we were always just curious as to what, because there was a bunch of these sitting there, and obviously, like you just said, we think that nobody really knew what it was. So we decided to look at the back here. On the back, it has the FooFighters.com, it has RCA, it has like all the stuff on here, the clear indicators of a Foo Fighters release, and so just had to pick it up. It was $20, so you know it's not too expensive or whatever.
It's interesting. I'm reading the Metal Sucks review, and I want to check it out actually because they're talking like there's a lot more thrash and death.
There you go.
It's more of extreme stuff because obviously he did Probot too.
He did indeed
with Lemmy, and but they're saying this is way more heavier than that. So
yeah. There was a bunch of people on that record, that Probot record. I always thought it was interesting, like sidebar, but on the you've not watched this because why would you? The Foo Fighters did a DVD, like a documentary. I believe it's called From the Beginning. I believe it is. And so the cool thing about Foo Fighters is that since Dave was already a person when Foo Fighters existed, there's a lot of footage from the very, very beginning of Foo Fighters. So it's pretty cool. They go all the way back and you see a bunch of stuff. They did their first show, first practice, like a bunch of stuff. It's super cool. Anyway, in that though, in that documentary, they have maybe it's a special feature or whatever, I don't remember, but you see a guy being led into the studio in their warehouse, and Dave Grohl has in the warehouse no exaggeration, a full fucking pallet of Probot CDs and vinyl. And he's like, and the kids in there, whatever, this girlfriend I think it was, and they're in there, and he's just a massive fan or whatever, right? And he's like, you want some vinyl? And the kid's like, okay. And Dave literally hands him a fucking case, a fucking 20 fucking record case of Probot records. Like, here you go. You want another one? And he's just handing him shit. He's walking around with fucking massive boxes of fucking CDs and vinyl from Probot and shit. It's also really insane when that same video is when they're going through the equipment room. Dave like is looking over all the shit they have, right? And he's like, oh, that's a Nevermind drum set. Oh, that's the new drum set. Oh, that's the drum set from so and so. And it's just like, oh, that's fucking insane.
Yeah, exactly.
So I recommend. I think it's on YouTube. I'd recommend somebody looking that shit up. But yeah. So Dream Widow. Haven't listened to it yet. Ty said it's sick. I need to listen to it. I'm just stupid and I just been busy. So there's that.
All right, moving on to my last official Record Store Day release. Let's go with Little Chili Peppers. Return to the Dream Canteen. This is the Black Friday edition. It comes with like nice holographic cover. Same thing. Unlimited Love
card.
Yeah, exactly. You get the reverse hollow edition. On the previous record, Unlimited Love, they did the same thing for Record Store Day in April. It was just like a shiny pressing, a different color. This is on, what is it on? Like hot pink. Comes with a poster. I don't know if I'm going to open it. I like this record more than Unlimited Love from what I've listened to it so far.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I might just leave it sealed because I don't mind streaming this if I want to listen to it. So
yeah, you also only bought Unlimited Love in that same fashion and format. Like you bought the Record Store Day edition. That's all you did.
Yes.
So like it's a back-to-back years, or was that last year? Or was that April?
Pretty sure it was April because they came out the same year. These records both came out this year. So,
and then you'll have another two.
Anthony said on Rogan he's got enough. They have enough to do one more double if they wanted to. So
it'll be a third record or 4 records?
Another double album. So,
okay,
like this, because
So okay.
each of these records have like 20 some tracks on them. So
Fuck. God damn it. That'd be the most output they've ever done in that quick amount of span of time, right? Like it has
for
to be,
sure. I mean, because
by
they were
far.
touring. I mean, they're road dogs, so
Yeah.
they're touring a lot. Like, you know, and then they did all this stuff during the pandemic.
Quarantine.
So,
yeah.
yeah.
These are all quarantine records, so like I get it. And you liked it a lot more than Unlimited Love, so that's cool.
Yeah, I do. From what I've listened to, I haven't. To be honest, I haven't listened to the whole thing yet. One standout track I will suggest though is Eddie. It's a tribute to Eddie Van Halen. Very cool song. Very cool song. It's cool because it talks about L.A. and you know California. Obviously, Chili Peppers are really good at talking about California and L.A. and shit. So it just talks about that and talks about the brothers and kind of tells like their biography and stuff. And I would imagine they kind of ran in the same circles. I mean, Chili Peppers were coming up when Van Halen was fucking Van Halen when they were coming up, but I imagine they saw Van Halen probably a good amount of times.
They cross paths, rubbed elbows. Yeah. Also, I didn't. So the funny thing, me and Ty were hanging out that day, right? And we went and got food, and then Ty explained to me, because I'm a Chili Peppers fan, but I'm a very casual fan. I like the songs, and Ty's a very, very big fan of Chili Peppers. And then he's like, I couldn't understand people don't like Chili Peppers, and I was like, well, I mean, okay, why? And he was like, I don't know. Every record's about California, and every record's this and that. And I was like, I guess it's a valid criticism. I just never heard that before. We never talked about it, but it was just funny when you said that. He's like, everything's about California. I was like, that's very true. It's very, very true. I mean, on our trips to California, have heard Chili Peppers 1 billion times together, and to like just insane amounts of times they play it on K-Rock out there. But yeah.
Yeah, they're very love them or hate them. I mean, I don't know. You're kind of like them, but you're not in love with them.
Yeah.
So I guess there is those fans, but I think they're a very polarizing band.
That's fair
for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I like the songs. I can never disagree with the songs. Something we both got here, because you get like a bag full of like goodies or what have you, and something we both were kind of stoked about a little bit. Got Creatures of the Night, Slip Mat, man, like. Because the Kiss box set for this record just came out for the 40. I guess it's 40 years. Has to be 50 years.
Yes, it is.
Shit.
Yeah, it's 40. It's 40.
Yeah, it's 40. So like this just came out, so they had a bunch of these. I don't know if every place did this, but our particular Zia loaded us up, and Ty got 2 of them. So lucky duck. I just got one.
Gave one to my daughter.
Yeah, she's gonna be a massive. I can't wait for her to be a huge Kiss fan. I can't wait for her first husband to look like Ace Frehley.
Great.
Can't wait for that. First boyfriend.
First husband. Jesus, bro. What the hell?
I meant to say
boyfriend. We got freebies in there too. I got a Muse shirt. You got a Muse shirt too. I gave it to Hannah.
Hunter, I can't. Me and you can diet for the next 12 fucking years, and we're never gonna fit into that goddamn Muse shirt.
I don't know anything about Muse, so neither.
I know 5 songs. Yeah, so she can be a sleep shirt or something or other, whatever, or like a yard work shirt if she wants to. But we got some posters and stuff. Yeah, night shirt, exactly. Got some posters and stuff. Got
you got a poster
for the new box set. You didn't get this?
I didn't get anything close to that good. I got a couple random things. I didn't even know who they were.
Yeah, well, I got this too. Somebody could be smarter than us. Don't know. Not a clue. Just this.
Those girls. That's a first aid kit.
They're cool. Okay. Oh, you know these people?
I think they're Swedish.
Swedish
sisters.
That's not a shocker to me that she's Swedish. I'm just saying here. There's that. And then I got a super sweet. Billy Idol.
That's cool too. I didn't get that.
You didn't get that? Well,
no.
Got Billy Idol, the KGP, 12x12. You can have this if you want. I know you're a big Idol mark, so
I don't need it. It's just saying it's cooler than what I got, which I don't even have anymore. So
you threw it away. You threw everything away.
I threw away the posters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you just showing off? Are you just showing off the rest of this freebie shit? Or are you?
No. I got more shit. I got more shit. No, he told me. He told you that. So it's okay. So one of the things I meant to bring up last week, but I didn't do it. Something we both have been interested in. I have just purchased this first. Ty will purchase this at a later date, I would assume. But I was stoked to find this. I got this maybe I don't know what, a couple months ago, whatever, and I was super stoked when I found it because we both were under the impression of a certain thing. We were wrong, luckily. But this is the Whitesnake Greatest Hits, revisited, remixed, remastered, everything, right? So Ty and I both, and I assume most music fans, I don't know, most music fans, we fucking hate re-records. Fucking hate it. It's the worst thing in the fucking world. We understand the reason why they exist. We get it. We understand why bands do it. Whatever. Like we don't disagree with it on that level. We just don't. We just hate when it's used in certain respects in certain places on TV shows or movies and stuff. Like, I don't know, whatever. It is what it is, but we hate re-records, you know, but we understand why they exist. So when we see the Whitesnake stuff, because the Whitesnake have done a lot of records recently, like the blues record, the rock record, the purple record, and a lot of stuff recently, which we didn't really, the love record, we didn't really pay attention to. So like, we kind of assumed that it was a lot of re-record shit and whatever. And love Whitesnake, but I don't really want, and I have no motivation to listen to like the new Whitesnake record, right? And I don't really want to hear them redo.
I'd rather listen to a new record than hear fucking redos.
That's fair. Fair enough.
Which is interesting.
Fair enough.
This is a really weird conversation about Whitesnake because their biggest fucking song is a redo.
That's true. That's a very true story, which is really funny. That's a very true story. So, so the Whitesnake Greatest Hits, remastered, revisited, remixed. So what this is the Greatest Hits, and I love Whitesnake, and I love all the songs on here. I was afraid they were all re-recorded, but that's not the case. So what they did is they did remix them, and they remastered them and whatever, right? And the revisited is David Coverdale and his producer putting a sheen on them, I would say, which is noticeable, but it doesn't take away from the original tracks, I would say. Also, he put in, like, there's a couple of John Sykes solos on here that were lost to time, and he found them because John Sykes and David Coverdale, like, they broke up, obviously, after the 87 record. So, there's some stuff that John Sykes recorded that was never used, and David wanted to put it into the songs. So, like, there's some stuff on here that has just been re-added back in, which is super sick. And I've listened to it. I think it's on... Fuck. What is it on? It's on... Hold on. I think it's on Slow and Easy, I believe it is. Mm-hmm. It's just Slow and Easy or Slide It In, one of the two. But they have John Sykes solos on there that are new and super sick. I love it. It's noticeable. It's a noticeable remix, remaster. I will say that, but it's not bastardizing the fucking original songs. It's still super sick. And this is kind of what he does now. Because Coverdale's, like, Whitesnake's going away, supposedly, after this last tour. And so Coverdale's just kind of going to go into the archives and maybe do some new stuff, who knows, but also just kind of, you know, look at the Whitesnake discography or his, you know, solo records or the Jimmy Page record, you know, all that stuff. So, you know, but it's super sick. There's a red version of this as well for Walmart, I believe, and has all the lyrics on here as well. And then actually, it's not the lyrics. I lied to you. It's not lyrics. It's stories about the songs. So you have Coverdale just clips or quips a little bit. So fucking love that. And that's all the records and singles and what have you on the back here. So super sick.
Fucking that band is always so good. I mean, you had John Sykes, you had Cozy Powell, who's just fucking amazing. Cozy Powell's on so many records, you know, from that era. Like, that band was just fucking killer.
Yeah, like it's just next level shit. Super cool, but big Whitesnake fan. So if in the event that you are a Whitesnake fan as well and you've seen that Greatest Hits out there and you're kind of a little skeptical of it, stream it if you want to. It's on Spotify and everything, but it's not the worst vinyl pickup ever. I would encourage it because it is super cool, and it's the best you're probably ever going to get for Whitesnake Greatest Hits, because they're probably not going to put out the original Greatest Hits again, because that's what that's based on. So, you know, whatever.
Yeah, that's a cool pick. I got to pick that up for sure.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Let's just do all this. Get all of this out of the way. So Typo Negative, they finally re-released their last record. This record's kind of been lost to time. They released it, and then the label went defunct basically almost immediately after the record dropped. And then Peter Steele passed away like a year or two later or whatever. And then actually, I found out the other day, too, I didn't tell you this either, Tyler, that the studio where they recorded it, in New Orleans, actually burnt down.
Oh,
Or
wow.
not New Orleans. Why did I say New Orleans? I was thinking of Katrina. What was the big hurricane that hit New York?
Um,
Fuck. I can't
Sandy?
remember. Yes, Sandy.
Okay.
I don't know. I was
Yeah.
thinking. I'm like, why the fuck would they record in New Orleans? I don't know why I
Yeah.
was thinking that. No, they're Brooklyn boys. So anyway,
Yeah.
Sandy hit, and that studio no longer exists either.
Wow.
So like,
So everybody that touched it in some ways or form is just kind of, thinking things
pretty
not really
much
worked out for them.
pretty much. So this is Typo Negative with Dead Again. Man, I did spin this very quiet pressing. Really good job by Nuclear Blast. This is the Nuclear Blast edition. It's out of 2000. There's a 2000 edition. There's a 2500 variant, and there's a 500 variant. That's just a
Jesus.
European variant. So there's only 5,000 copies of this, but out there again on vinyl.
Wow. I didn't realize that. I assume there'd be a mass press.
I imagine they will keep it in press.
Yeah.
Nuclear Blast
Those variants.
Were you good at this? They'll keep doing the variants. This will keep making money for them. So here is the variant. Very cool, green with a black splatter. Obviously, it fits the vibe. I will show off the gatefold. I absolutely adore this record. On some days, this might be my favorite Typo Negative record. It is very different than everything else, I would say. There's limited to 2000 there, if you can see that. It's very different to me. Like if I was going to recommend Typo Negative, this would probably be the record I would recommend because it kind of combines everything about the band. There's some more fast, like hardcore songs from when they started out. There's good piano, German gothy stuff. To me, it's a very good mix, and the lyrical content isn't like overtly tongue in cheek or overtly like gothic or just jokes. So that's why I would prefer it. There's a lot of religious themes on here, stuff like that. There's the back. So Pete was really exploring kind of his whole religion, his Catholicism, and
Catholicism,
on this record. There's the big trifold. So I was very, very excited to get this, and so excited that I got the cassette. Also, this is a green cassette.
That's awesome.
This vinyl edition too does come with the whole record, sides 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the first 2 LPs are the record itself, and then 5 and 6 are live cuts. It's interesting because I know these are, it's an 07, it's the 07 tour, but the first like 5 songs live cuts on here, I don't know what show they're from, and it's not in the liner notes. So I got to do more research and find out, because I want to find out if the whole show is online somewhere. It sounds pretty rough, but it sounds good enough where I would like to listen to the whole show. And then the last live track on here is live at Wacken in 07, which that show's been around forever. And then, so we got the cassette, and then we got the long box CD.
That's so sick.
So throwing it way back. I got 2 copies. I got a sealed copy, and then my wife and I wanted to open one. And this has a sticker and a pin as well in it. And it came with the CD. And these long boxes are limited to 1,500. So
we talked this the day of, but I'll put on record. I think the long boxes need to be a thing. If you're doing of everything, there wasn't a long box for that era. I get it, but if you're a band from the era of long boxes and you do re-releases, or whatever, a long box release is actually a pretty sick way for somebody to want to buy your CD again, because nobody wants to buy the re-release of the CD if it's a long box exclusive 1,500 whatever. That's increasing your value of or your whatever your attention to the CDs. It's fucking sick.
Yeah, no, I mean you're right, and it wasn't that much more money than a regular CD. This comes with the rest of the Wacken tracks, so there's actually more live tracks on the CD version than there is on the vinyl version. So
I was gonna say I just looked on there, so I looked at their Twitter. So this is the Twitter. 15 years ago today, Dead Again was released back on the March 13th, 2022. 15 years ago today, Dead Again was released. It was to be the last prior to our brother's passing. We want to be clear. Stop searching for bootlegs or overpriced resales. Dates are set for pre-order and street date.
Mm-hmm.
They are this year. Vinyl and CD and even cassettes are on the way. So
yep.
I imagine it was pretty highly bootlegged.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's boots everywhere of it. The boots always show up in the typo subreddit. One thing about the long box is that it's funny. I saw a post on the subreddit. Somebody bought the long box, posted about it, and said, "I wouldn't have bought this if I knew if it would have came in this big box. How am I supposed to open this and keep it nice?" It literally is a long box.
He's popping off the top.
Also, yes, but also they advertise it as a long box.
Yeah.
You're the one who bought it. And you're like, I wouldn't have bought this if I would have known what it was. It's like, what the fuck are you talking
What did you think it was? Like, I don't.
Yes, I just thought that was very, very funny. And then I'll just finish this out here.
There you
go. With another typo record. So this also happened to drop on Black Friday. This is going to get demonetized here. This is The Origin of the Feces, not live at Brighton Beach. This is their fake live album that they did. This is basically just the first album, but they mixed like a crowd into it. But it's actually pretty cool because they actually have like banter and shit. Like the crowd's making fun of them, and like Peter's making fun of the crowd and shit. And like they're throwing shit at him and stuff. So it's more than just that. I love the back of it. If the guy's on there.
Oh, that's nice. That's cool.
Yeah. This is from Run Out Groove. This is the label edition. Or not the label edition, the one that's in record stores. They will be doing a direct-to-consumer edition that will be coming to me eventually. This is the poster that came with it. This is not the band cover, but the cover that they used when that cover got banned.
Yeah.
Poster. And then it is on. This one is on a nice green with black. And the direct-to-consumer edition that I have coming is just like straight dark, really dark green. I'll probably just keep that one sealed since I opened this one. And then we'll show the gatefold real quick. I do love Run Out Groove. They're probably one of my favorite pressing companies going today, honestly. There's the write-up in there. They always do really cool write-ups about the bands and about the records itself. And there's the other side. Classic typo right there. So yeah, Origin of the Feces, man.
That's awesome. I've been reading typo stuff because I really want to know where those tracks are from. So everywhere I look, not the Vakken tracks, the other ones, I really want to look. I really want to find out. And every time I look, it just says live. It never references the date or anything. It just says live.
Know, yeah.
Everything else says Vakken. And then I found a little clip on here from Johnny Kelly, the drummer. And they asked about if they were going to do if they were going to do a tribute show or a date or something or other. And he said that we thought about it, but there was no real serious consideration. If we did do it, who would do Peter's vocals? And he said we'd want probably a girl to do it, somebody like Ann Wilson. That was who the name that would be thrown around for. Yeah, it'd be really interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah, but. Yeah, it's kind of cool. He said, should we celebrate? Should we do something? He's like, well, people celebrate Peter every day. So people always celebrate him. So it's already a thing that people already do. We don't need to do anything more than just, what we already are doing kind of stuff.
They actually do tribute nights every night at Duff's bar in Brooklyn.
Oh yeah.
That would be like kind of a bucket list thing for me to do. Yeah. That's a big, important bar to the band. And that would be cool. Yeah, they do tribute nights. They do shirts every year. And I think proceeds go to the family or some charity too that the family has set up. So yeah. Yeah, that's kind of on the bucket list. There's a you can go visit his grave too in Brooklyn. And then there's like a bench too This man is like Peter's Bench. It's in his favorite park.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, because Peter always wanted. He did. He worked for the parks. They called him the Green Man. He worked
Oh
for the
wow.
parks and rec, and he just cleaned up the parks and shit. And that's what he always wanted to do. And like,
Yeah.
they'd be like, "All right, you got to go back on tour," and then he'd try to get out of work. He didn't want to get out of work, like his actual job.
Yeah.
So like, he never
That's
wanted to
awesome.
tour and be like in a band. Like, it just kind of happened to the dude. And then so
That's awesome.
yeah, there's a lot of shit to do and see, like the Typo Negative tour. Like, you can go see his mom's house and shit, and because he lived in the basement of his mom's house for fucking ever.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she would have girls come to the house and shit, like they were on tour.
Oh really?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like trying to hang out with Peter.
Yes. Yeah. And they'd be gone.
To say the least.
Like, yeah, she'd be like, "Oh, Peter's not here." So, yeah. That band's so
awesome.
crazy. There's so many crazy stories like that. But all right, that's all my typo stuff. What else? Do you got anything else to show?
No, that's it. That's it for me, brother.
Okay, I'll just run through these real quick.
Yeah.
We got Live and Dangerous.
Hell
Lizzy. Got this from the In Groove. Really nice copy. One of the greatest live shows of all time. It truly really is. I streamed it the other night. I've listened to it before, but just wanted to listen to it again. I haven't spun this particular copy of it, but yeah, truly one of the fucking greatest live shows of all time. The band's just at peak fucking form here. This is like the pinnacle of Thin Lizzy right here.
That's awesome.
And
it's a really solid. It's a really solid copy too, for sure.
Yeah, very clean. So I was excited to get that. And then this is an actual Amazon pickup that was marked off really heavily. I want to say $30 from 75.
Wow. Oh, nice.
Yeah. Queensryche
Mindcrime too.
Yep. Yeah, this is Queensryche Mindcrime at the Moore. In live in Seattle, hometown show. They play Operation Mindcrime 1 and Operation Mindcrime 2 if you want to listen to that. I like the record enough. It's just one is where it's at. So yeah, this is what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4 LPs. Wow. The only thing I don't like about this, it's just shoved into a big case.
Oh,
it's not a gatefold. What's funny about this is out of 3,500 copies, but they advertise that it literally says 4 LPs packed in a sturdy slipcase. Like that's not a selling point.
Not a selling point. Yeah, that's not a highlight. Interesting. What year is that?
06.
Okay, so it's still with Jeff. Okay.
Yeah, this is basically the band minus Chris. So
oh, he didn't come back for these shows? Wow.
No, and it is, I'll pull one of them out here.
Music on vinyl too, it's always gonna be really nice.
Yeah, everything I've had of them has always been nice. It's on like a red.
Okay.
They call it Bloody Mary Red, which is, if you know anything about the story, Sister Mary is one of the main characters in the story. So.
Oh, nice.
That's why it's called Bloody Mary Red.
I mean, I guess, like, if you think about it, like, what they would either, for 4 LPs, I mean, they could do a box set, sort of. Like, it's kind of an in-betweener. There would be like a quad gatefold, I guess, if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
Be a really thick purchase, and it's probably more money. And that's probably the most economical way they could have done it. It's still not super cool, but I guess, it is what it is.
Yeah, I probably would have raised. Yeah, if they did a box set and all that shit, it's going to raise the price of it. So, I mean, it's $75 as it is. I only bought it because it was 30. I think it was like 35 on Amazon. So
that's a $1.25, 30 all day if they did a huge box, for sure.
Exactly. Last pickup here, just picked it up at Zia on Black Friday too. Judas Priest, British Steel, pretty clean-ish copy. Got a little ring wear there, but the vinyl is pretty shiny. Didn't have it in the collection. I'm almost done with Judas Priest.
What do you have left?
So this is very nice. I have a couple of I got Redeemer of Souls, which is hard to get. Okay. I need Painkiller, which is very easy to get. I just haven't bought it.
You have Firepower?
Sin After Sin. I do have Firepower. Sin After Sin. I think that's it. I think I'm only missing 2 or 3
That's
records.
awesome.
So almost done. Oh, Angel of Retribution too. That's from like 2002 or 2003. That one's pretty hard to
Oh
get
wow.
to. But yeah, almost done. So British Steel, obviously classic Priest. Not my favorite Priest record, but a lot of people's favorite record. So
New backdoor weird rock and Hall of Famers newly. So
I was
you
going to
know,
talk to you about that actually. So a good segue, and then we'll wrap up the
love
Vinyl
it.
Hall
Yeah.
part. I watched that. Did you watch that?
I haven't watched it yet. No.
So somebody uploaded just that from
Okay.
the HBO rip. I wasn't going to pay for Max or do a free trial to watch
Yeah.
it because I'm not really interested in anybody else
Yeah.
that got inducted. So I was like, all right, let's watch this. So Alice Cooper inducts him. Cool.
Very cool.
Really cool. Alice has a cool speech. And then they play. And I'm like, that's weird because usually they accept it and do their speeches and then they play.
Yeah.
So at first I was like, are they not even going to fucking get to accept this? Or are they just letting him play? And I was getting really pissed because I'm like, you guys are stupid for doing this. So they play 2 songs. They play Breaking the Law and Living After Midnight. So, yeah.
Just the ones you play.
Exactly, I guess. Anyway,
They only got 2, by the way. Everybody else gets 6 or 5 or 6. You know.
Yeah. So they got 2 songs, and then they accepted the award.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I got really pissed because Alice Cooper was like, before they started playing, he's like named all the guys, and he didn't name Richie Faulkner.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Richie Faulkner's been in the band for 11 years. He's on 2 records. He's been in the band since KK decided to leave and retire and get a golf course and fucking
lose all his money,
bankrupt and beg to be back in the band. So Richie plays with them. He plays with the band. Yeah. It's really cool because Les Binks is there, their older drummer, and he plays drums with. They got 2 drummers. Scott Travis is their current drummer's there too, and then Glenn Tipton, who's also gone, who retired, is there too. So it's basically the original band.
Oh, isn't Glenn? Isn't he really? His arthritis really bad? Isn't that why
he played? He played. You could tell he was not doing great, but he played.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's good.
KK was killing it. KK looked like he was auditioning to be back.
That's
in
what
the
it was.
Band.
That's exactly what it was.
Like he was fucking doing all this shit. Like it was going crazy. So, but really cool to see all the guys back in the band. Then they come up and accept the award, and I'm like, Alice didn't say Richie's name, and he's just standing there with Alice Cooper while everybody gives their speeches. I was really pissed about that. I don't know why. Obviously, he doesn't give a shit. Like maybe he cares a little bit, but like I know this goes back to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and they get to kind of no, we just want these guys in or whatever. I know that's happened before, but I imagine if they're not even really getting inducted, so like, why couldn't the dude that's been in the band for fucking 11 years, been touring with you for 11 years, is on 2 records? The last record he's on, everybody fucking loves. He slays on, and he was a big part of making that record what it was because he's younger. He's a younger dude. And he was like, let's just make a fucking Judas Priest record. And him and Andy Sneap, the producer, were like, both like, let's just make a fucking Judas Priest record like you guys used to fucking make. And they did. Everybody fucking loves the record.
I feel like maybe on both sides, because the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame didn't want to put him in. They didn't want to do it because they got nominated multiple times. They didn't fucking even make it to the fucking, obviously it's an induction or the hell, but like they weren't finalists or anything. Like they would, and so they had to do the fuck awards, and they put them in. They're Trailblazers. What are they?
Some whatever. Like they didn't even say it. It was weird because it was like a normal induction, but they didn't say anything, and then they only played 2 songs, and it was real awkward.
So it's almost like they shoved them through. They like, all right, well, just so we don't fucking have to put them on anymore. Like, and we'll satisfy the metalheads because we're not going to put any other fucking metal bands fucking ever, basically. So like, just they can shut the fuck up. And they have another one on their team. So like, what's horseshit is that maybe the band didn't want to go back and forth with it. There's precedent. There's precedent for bands going to the wall for their fucking new guys. So like if for Trujillo, so Robert was been in the band. I think Metallica went in 2023 was 81 to 16. No, 25 years. So 81 or 83. So that's it was at 17.
2009.
Doesn't okay. Oh, I'm really fucking dumb. So 09. So Rob was in the band for less years. He's in the 7 years at that point. He had done one record. He just did Death Magnetic. They just did that. So like there's precedent, and grant you, Metallica is bigger than Priest is. But also on the other side of things, when Nine Inch Nails went in, Trent fought for a lot of the dudes to get in the band, like because they originally were just going to do him. And then he was like, was me and Atticus in the band? Like, because Atticus Ross, the producer, he's been basically in the band for the last 20 years nearly, but it's just been all studio work and whatever, and doing stuff with Trent there. And he just recently became a band member within the last 5 years or so, officially. And then Trent fought for the other guys that he wanted to get in there as well, and they didn't really want to do that. And there's a back and forth or whatever. And he also put in Alon Rubin, who Alon is 30, I think 31 years old, 30 years old at the time. He had been in the band for, I think at that point, maybe about 10 years or so. And so he's been in the band for a long time, and he did some records with them, but obviously he was not the classic drummer at that point, but they allowed him to fight for Alon to be in the band, which is cool. I'm cool with that. I love Alon, but there's precedent for them accepting the band's input. So I don't know, like, it's just horse shit. That's really fucking stupid. It just kind of seems like they just kind of shoved him through.
I was irrationally upset because you let the guy play guitar on stage with the band, and then they go to accept the award and do their little speeches, and then he just stands by Alice Cooper and just hangs out and doesn't get the little statue thing. I'm just like, I don't know, dude. The dude's putting the time. He's been with the band when KK didn't want to be in the band anymore.
And he's not in a fuck version. It's not like it's a fuck disrespected version of the band. They're still putting out fucking records people like.
It's Judas Priest. It's still the same fucking band. Like it's not like a cover version of the band and shit. Like, you still got Rob, you still got Ian, you still got Scott Travis has been in the band like 30 years at this point. So like they did it right, but that rubbed me the wrong way. And it is what it is. I think they're gonna try to do the same thing with Maiden. They're going to try to do like a legacy fucking thing. It's going to blow up in their face because Bruce, none of those guys will go.
If it's not real,
I don't even think they would go. Period. I don't think they would go. Period. And then they're going to try to do a legacy thing with fucking Maiden, and that's just
So you're gonna have Tom Morello. You're gonna have fucking like all these other dudes up there doing Maiden songs while they're not showing up. It's like a Sex Pistols thing.
I don't know. Maybe that's a thing where if they do this legacy thing or like whatever, they're going to offer it to the band. If they say no, they just don't say anything to anybody.
Yeah.
Like they don't announce it. So maybe it'll be like that. I don't know, man. Rob seemed like he had a really good time. It seemed like it meant a lot to him. But Rob's into that shit. I think Rob has like an ego about that stuff. Like I think Rob needs to be accepted by like the mainstream. Maiden doesn't go fuck.
Yeah. Well, isn't
above all that shit, so.
Isn't there actually a beef based on that between Maiden and fucking Judas Priest? Is the fact that Judas Priest was first, but Maiden is thought of like more than a Priest is, and they're obviously much bigger than fucking Priest ever was.
I mean, Maiden's first big tour over here, they opened when Paul was still in the band. They opened for Priest.
Wow.
And then when they came back with Bruce, Priest opened for Maiden. So, yeah, there's always been beef between those bands, and it is what it is. Like, I don't think they hate each other, but I think that shit means something to Rob, like these like accolades and industry awards. That way, he's accepted by the mainstream people who matter. I don't think Maiden ever gave a shit about that and gives a shit. But anyway. That was the tangent of all tangents.
That's fine. Side tangent on your tangent. To another Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, a bastard Rock and Roll Hall of Fame fucking induction. So the Guns Use Your Illusion boxes came out, and I don't have any of that because I'm not gonna fucking purchase that shit. I have the records already.
Not gonna spend the $500.
I don't, especially Ty and I are trying to fucking make this whole Metallica thing happen both nights. So yeah, I'm not trying to fucking do that. So sorry. I apologize, Axel. I'm sorry, brother. Whatever. Anyway, the thing that actually really caught my eye and like really actually legitimately interested me. So in that box set, they have a Blu-ray of Live at the Ritz from 91. Okay. So what's fucking insane about that is I watched, so I haven't purchased it or anything, right? And you can't buy it separately. I did look into this. I tried to look at it. And if somebody has and they're watching this and they can get a link, leave it, please. But I streamed it on YouTube for about 45 fucking minutes. It is one of the best fucking looking live shows from that era I've ever seen on YouTube. So if you had the actual fucking Blu-ray, looks a million times better. But the fucking camera angles, the fucking production of it, like not the production of the show, but the actual fucking production with the quality. Like if they're just a dirty fucking rock band playing in the fucking club, like that's cool as shit, right? But it just looks so fucking crisp and they sound so fucking good. And like warts and all, like Axl like misses some shit, but it's fucking still awesome. It's still great. So I watched about 45 minutes of it. And I went to go, I had to go, I was working, right? So I had to do a phone call. I forgot how to do, right? So I paused it and I was going to come back to it. So I went to go back to it after I got off work that night.
It was gone.
And this is like 3 days ago, it was gone.
Yeah.
So in that time, it was up for 4 or 5 days prior to my watching it. And then it happened to get fucking removed the day that I actually started to watch it.
There's actually in the thread on the Steve Hoffman boards about that box set, everybody was talking about that show. And everybody's like, why aren't they just releasing this as a Blu-ray that we could buy?
100%.
They did do a 4K transfer of it too, which means if you wanted to make it even better, you could do a 4K disc.
I had no idea. Wow, that's awesome.
So it's a 4K transfer on a regular 1080 Blu-ray. So if they really wanted to do it right, you could put it on a 4K disc and it would look even a little bit better.
And charge more money, more than likely.
Yeah, probably 30.
But I wonder if they want to use that as an incentive for you to spend the $400 fucking in the box.
I mean, obviously,
yeah. I don't know how much people care about a Blu-ray. Like I do, but I don't know. I don't care about it that much to spend $400 that I wasn't going to spend anyway, right? It looks so fucking good though, man. Like, and here they did a 4K transfer. It's awesome. Like, I was super stoked watching it. The entire time I was watching, the 40 minutes I was watching, I couldn't get over how great it looked.
I'm not. I mean, you're a much bigger fan than I am, but I can't. There's not enough in that box to justify that fucking price tag of $500.
Yeah.
You get the live shows, you get that Blu-ray, you get the alternate edition, the version of November Rain, which I've heard is awful.
I'm with you. There's not enough. There's not. The juice is not worth the squeeze there. Like, it's cool if you want like just the boxes and you want that's a thing and that's what you want. Like, I guess I can't argue it's your money. But for me personally, I wouldn't do that.
No,
I wouldn't.
They're just banking on that hardcore of hardcore, and they're like, if you're smart about it, obviously they printed off way too many of those Appetite boxes, because they fucking dropped. So if they were smart about this, they printed off just enough of these Use Your Illusion boxes, and they'll get just enough people to spend that $500, and it'll work out for them. But I mean, there's no more real wells to go to for guns. Lies box set or something, you know what I'm saying? So
Lies was already in, I believe they already put Lies in the Appetite box.
Oh, okay.
So that was another thing.
But like, are you gonna do a Chinese Democracy box set? Like, that's probably not
don't fucking bring that up. I like that record. I don't fucking need a goddamn box set. I don't fucking want it. I don't need it. Also, real quick, the EU edition on Amazon, third-party seller for the Illusion box sets, the CD box set is going for $700 on Amazon. So I don't know if sales or whatever, right? But
Dear Lord,
that $630 plus tax and shipping. So,
my God. Anyways, guys, that is the first edition of Record Store Hauls. If you like this type of stuff, leave us a like, comment down below. What did you like in these pickups? What have you been picking up? Subscribe for more videos. You can subscribe and you will get the main podcast as well, where we do deep dives, hours-long discussions about certain topics about music or vinyl or industry-related bullshit. So anyways, guys, we'll see you next time on the next Record Store Hauls.